Welcome, Non-Productive Universe, to yet another jackknife powerbombing edition of Wrestling Recap, the show that hits you for a 10 count of the most important developments in wrestling each week. As usual, I'm your host, Big Papa Pete, and let's jump right into the action. So, online, WWE hyped the fact that Universal Champion Brock Lesnar would be attending UFC 226 last weekend. Then they covered the challenge he issued to Daniel Cormier, I don't care, after the match. On Raw, however, they mentioned the Beast's name exactly 0 times. Speculation has been running rampant about what that means. Has there been some kind of falling out since Saturday night? Is Brock Lesnar going to walk away with the Universal title just like Alundra Blaze? At this point, who even cares? Just let him keep the strap and hold a tournament to crown the first ever No Lesnar's champion. They can even invite Homer Lesnar, because they're allowed to have one. Number 2, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre was a solid match. Maybe the best of the night, even if the setup was somewhat cringeworthy. The less said about that, the better. Bah. It's good to see McIntyre working a solo match for once. I'm just not sure if this match did more to build up McIntyre or tear down Rollins. Number 3, Lashley and Reigns have a free-for-all. At this point, it's become patently obvious that WWE is booking Lashley as a stand-in for Brock Lesnar. What a long way we've come from Lashley's first run with the company, where they used him as a stand-in for Brock Lesnar. Whatever the reasoning behind it, the fans are having none of this. The only real pop during the whole thing was for the Celtics logo behind Lashley during his video. We love you, Boston. Never change. Number 4, the promising feud between the B-Team and the Deleter of Worlds is officially stuck in the mud. Maybe we can blame it on Bray Wyatt's car crash, but they've been doing the same exact bit for about a month now. Hopefully their match at Extreme Rules will give these teams the nudge they deserve. Number 5, Ember Moon gave a great performance, this time against Liv Morgan. Lots of creative offense, and Morgan did a great job putting her over. Moon feels like she's just on the cusp of becoming something big. If only there were room for her in the championship picture. Also, it may not be a popular opinion right now, but I think Liv Morgan is right where she needs to be. She's honing her skills and showing her professionalism by filling whatever role they need for her that week. She's the mid-card workhorse with a future that the women's division needs more of right now. Number 6, speaking of the women's division, I'm kind of torn about the Bayley-Sasha therapy storyline. On one hand, it fills that much-needed niche of something for women to do when they're not in the title picture. On the other hand, it's really just not clicking, and it doesn't actually involve wrestling. It even kept Sasha out of the ring in her hometown this week. At least they're not having the two settle their differences with an evening gown match. Oh god, that's going to happen now, isn't it? Moving on to SmackDown, number 7. I'm not as big a fan of Rusev as most people seem to be, but even I'd much rather see Rusev versus literally anybody than sit through Rusev doing commentary for Nakamura versus Styles 6. Number 8. So it looks like we're keeping Ellsworth around for a while. Yay! This week, it was the Chinless Wonder versus Asuka in a Lumberjill match? Whatever. They didn't do anything anyway. This was all to set up Asuka versus Carmella in a James Ellsworth in a shark cage match at Extreme Rules. I swear to God, if this plays out the same way as Enzo in a shark cage or the Jericho in a shark cage match, I am going to fume for a few minutes and then quietly resume watching this product and doing podcasts about it. Number 9. Finally, after what seems like an eternity of pointless promos or just plain silence, we get to see Sin Cara versus Andreas 100 Mongolian Sasquatches. These two put on easily the best match of the night, and Almas finally got to show the main roster audience what a great in-ring talent he is, as opposed to just being overhyped by Zelina Vega. And finally, a 10-man tag match. Team Hell No and the New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers and Sanity. Was this necessary? Hell no! Was it more fun than a barrel of boogeymen? Yes! 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 The match itself packed some great action into a short amount of time and actually gave everyone a chance to showcase their unique talents. The real highlight was the backstage planning session between the New Day and Team Hell Yes. Big E was in rare form, and everyone involved just seemed to be committed to the insanity. For some reason, Kane correcting Daniel Bryan that technically it would be a gateway to hell, not a portal, has me giggling every time I think about it. And the pyro shtick after the match is one of those great fun moments that you look back on years later and smile. And that's your wrestling recap for this week. Got an opinion or something else to add? Join in the conversation on the Non-Productive Fan Club on Facebook. And while you're at it, subscribe to our podcast feed via your favorite podcast obtaining method. Really like what you heard? Help support us on Patreon so we can make it even better. Links to everything can be found at Non-Productive.com.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.